So today I'm gonna be going over the Artisan Zero. I'm gonna be going over the build and feel, the performance, comparisons to other mouse pads, and seeing if it really is worth the $60 price tag that it comes with. So first of all, the first thing I want to get into is the build and feel of this mouse pad. I did get the soft version of this mouse pad. There's different levels of softness to this. There's the extra soft, there's mid, and from watching videos and recommendations, I did end up going with the soft. I have heard that the extra soft can be kinda too soft in a way, and the way it goes is kind of how the softer pad you get, kind of the more muddy feel you're gonna get, or at least not muddy, but more controlled, and your mouse might dig in more into the pad if you decide to go with the extra soft version. But yeah, going over build and feel, this is a very solid pad, probably the best mouse pad I have ever had. This has a really solid feel overall. I would say it's not really a speed pad, but it's not really a control pad. It's kind of in the between area. So really good like for games like Valorant, good for games like CS:GO, all those types of games. And yeah, smooth feel. The stitching is very solid on this mouse pad. Very high quality. You get your little Artisan Zero logo here on the bottom right side, and turning it around, you see this coating. So this coating is almost sticky, sticky rubberized coating that actually almost sticks. It doesn't actually stick to anything, but it has a really sticky feel, especially when on glossier surfaces or maybe more matte surfaces or wooden surfaces. This does a really good job of staying in place, which is something that I've seen with other mouse pads. They sometimes can slide around. Even if it's a little bit, it can be kind of detrimental at times. But this is really solid, pretty much perfect in that regard. So yeah, overall, I like how well it stays stuck on here. The second you face it down, it is not going anywhere, which is something that you really need to look for in a mouse pad, especially when you're going to be playing competitively. The texture, the stitching quality, everything is very solid. And so now going into performance. So the glide on this mouse pad is very solid. Using the Razer V3 Pro, I noticed that it is very, very good. I did like it a lot in the way that it isn't too fast. So I know a lot of other Artisan pads can be kind of fast, like the Hien especially, which is pretty much neck and neck with this one. Of course, it offers different things, but it's right up there with the Hien when it comes to performance. Compared to the Hien, this is a little bit slower, more controlled, but I would not consider it a control pad. So it is pretty decently fast, just looking at mouse pads objectively, but it's slow enough, it has enough control to keep you having a pretty consistent level of comfort in aiming. When I was aiming with this, I didn't have any issues. I never felt like I was going too fast, or I never felt like I was going too slow, or like my mouse was digging into the pad, or I couldn't move as fast as I wanted to, or I was moving faster than I wanted to. It always felt pretty much in the in-between. So you get a really good balance with this pad, which is something that is very useful for games like Valorant, CS:GO, any slow-paced shooters do really good. Even Marvel Rivals, Apex Legends, games like that where you want a little bit faster, but you still want to keep a lot of control. There's a very solid offering by Artisan. Over time, I've had really good consistency with this mouse pad. So if you're looking for something that's going to give you a lot of consistency, that you're going to be able to use every day and feel a very constant glide throughout everything, there's a very good option. This didn't seem to affect my aim in any way negatively. If anything, it was very positive for my aim. It did a really good job of really locking me in, really giving me a good feel, giving me the confidence to peak angles, feeling very confident with my flicks, very confident with my tracking in Valorant, especially was the game I play. And yeah, overall very, very solid. The stopping power as well, very solid. Like I said before, it has that level of control, but also that level of speed that you're looking for in a pad like this. And overall, it did a really good job of giving me really good stopping power, but also giving me the speed to do micro flicks, long flicks, clearing angles, everything like that was very solid. So in comparison to other pads I've tried other pads from Steel series, from Zowie, which is a big one. I actually use the Zowie GSR. I'll say this is better than all those pads. The Zowie GSR is definitely too slow for me. even for games like Valorant or CSGO, where I see it's very popular. From my point of view, it's a lot better. It gives you a little bit more speed, pretty much the same level of stopping power, and it also doesn't give you a muddy feel like those pads. I also had an Aqua Control 2, which is, I would say, on the same level of speed as this. If anything, maybe the Aqua Control 2 is a little bit faster, but this provides a lot more stopping power, a lot better glide, and a big one is just the consistency of the glide. The level of consistency you get with this pad is really amazing. Throughout the whole pad, you're gonna get the same feel. You're never gonna feel like there's some dead spots or like you're slower on some ends of the pad than others. Throughout the whole pad, you're getting a consistent glide that just does a really good job of locking you in and making you feel confident in game. And of course, this pad isn't perfect. It does have some downfalls that I would like you to consider before you buy it. One of the biggest ones is the fact that it just really is a hard to clean pad. It just does get dirty very fast, and that can affect the consistency of this pad. Of course, not directly the fault of the pad that it gets dirty, but it is something to consider. If you buy this pad, you are going to be looking to clean it pretty much every day you use it. Even days that you don't get on, I would consider wiping it down with a damp paper towel, or maybe just making sure you wipe off the dirt every time you play with it, because it is a pad that does attract dirt very fast. It's a pretty soft pad. It has a lot of little holes in it, of course, and those holes do get filled with dirt pretty easily, especially if maybe you were grabbing something before you go to play with this pad. You get dirt on it very fast. Let's say also from your PC, you get, if your PC is on your table next to this pad, from the fans you'll get some dirt on it too. But yeah, that's probably the biggest thing with this pad that you want to consider, is the fact that it gets pretty dirty pretty fast. And if you're buying this pad, you are going to be cleaning it pretty consistently. So these pads do get more expensive the larger size you buy. I'm sure this is an XL model. If you want the XXL or the even bigger ones, they're going to be more expensive. And it kind of feels like you are forced to get those levels of pads. At least the XL model. Even me getting this XL model, I do feel like it's a little bit small at times. So I would recommend getting the biggest model that fits on your desk and that you can afford. The smaller pads, like let's say if you go smaller than large, you are going to be getting the territory of the fact that you may not be able to play with it competitively. Of course, it depends on how you aim and a lot of other factors, but this is a pad that you're going to want to get in the biggest size you can, and they do offer sizes that just aren't really optimal for competitive gaming. So when you're looking to buy this, make sure you do get the larger sizes. You do look into the larger sizes, and if you do have the money to buy those, I would recommend those. And if you don't have the money to get those larger sizes, I would consider maybe buying another pad, or maybe looking for other deals, or waiting until you can buy a bigger version of this pad if you are wanting to game competitively, and if you are going to be using a large surface area of this pad. The big category is price and value. So this is a $50 to $70 pad. I know it is imported, which adds to the cost. So you have to get it from Japan, getting it shipped. You are getting it imported, so that's a big thing to keep in mind. The cost is added on with the cost of importing it. So if you buy it from places like Amazon, if you buy it from pretty much any place like that, Amazon, even from the Artisan website, you're gonna be paying an import fee, either directly or indirectly. From Amazon, they're not going to tell you you're paying an import fee, but you are going to be paying more for the mouse pad in general, because the people that buy it have to import it. Overall, is it worth it for competitive gamers, for people that like just having a good mouse pad, even for work gaming especially? But I know for work, people also like having a high quality mouse pads. I would say it is definitely worth it. It's the best pad I've used, and it really provides everything you want. So although it's not a very flashy pad, it doesn't have some crazy unique detail about it, it's just an overall a very solid pad. Quality that you get with this is pretty much some of the best you're gonna get. So if you're looking for an end game mouse pad that you just want something you can buy, something that's gonna be solid, something you're not gonna feel like it's too fast or too slow. Of course, objectively, it might be too fast or too slow for some people, but if you're looking for something that overall is gonna suit a lot of people, and it's gonna give a lot of people that little bit of an edge in game, giving you a consistent glide, giving you amazing quality, and giving you the confidence to feel like you're not being limited by your mouse pad, this is a very, very good offering, and I would recommend it to most people. If you already have a solid mouse pad, and if you really enjoy your mouse pad, I wouldn't say this is something that's going to change your life. At the end of the day, It is a mouse pad, so it does have a significant effect on your aim, but it's not going to be the be all and end all of your aim. It's very solid. If you would feel like you don't have a mouse pad that really responds to you properly, if you don't feel like you have a consistent glide on the mouse pad, and you just want to make sure you buy something and it has that and it feels solid and it isn't too fast but isn't too slow, kind of in that perfect sweet spot, this is a very, very great offering, and I would recommend it to pretty much everyone if you're looking for that. I wouldn't say it's the best mouse pad on the market. Of course there's many other options, but I would say it's the best mouse pad you can get, that it's a very safe bet. So you could buy this and you're probably gonna love it, and this is probably the only mouse pad you're gonna need to get. So of course there's gonna be faster pads that you could get if you like that, slower pads if you like that, but overall this is a very solid offering for any type of game, for having good consistency, and for pro play if you're into that, if you're just looking to be more competitive. And yeah, overall, is it worth it? Yes. I would say if you want control, consistency, premium build, yes. But if you're a casual gamer or if you're on a budget, there's definitely other alternatives you can turn to, and there's definitely other things you could buy at this price point. But at the end of the day, this is going to be a top tier pad. So if you're looking for that top tier, you don't mind paying a little bit extra for the import fees, if you're buying it straight from Artisan, or if you don't mind paying a little bit extra on top of the actual cost on Amazon, it's a great price. Make sure to be careful, because on Amazon there is a chance that you might get a fake. I have seen that going around. Make sure you're using the official Artisan site if you're going to buy from there, and make sure you look at the reviews if you buy anywhere else. But yeah, overall, a very solid pad, and if you are looking for those specific things, it's a very solid offering. So yeah, thank you guys. If you enjoyed, please make sure you drop a like, make sure to subscribe if you liked the video. If you want me to review anything else, let me know. And yeah, that's it all from me. Thank you.